Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Race number 10 at Gulfstream Park on Saturday is the Grade 3 Swale Stakes for 3-year-old sprinters. It is a big field. It looks like a pretty strong betting race. You can get down with a DRF Bets account. Sign up is easy at bets.drf.com. Deposit the $50, bet with $200. Let's meet the field again of sophomore sprinters. Race number 10 at Gulfstream Park on Saturday. It's the Grade 3 Swale Stakes. I want to start with the number 1, Frosted Grace. This is a Keeneland graduate, 6-1 on the morning line. Gave 2-5 favorite Federal Case all he could handle in that optional claiming race last time out, going a 1-turn mile. Federal Case is kind of those sort of mid-tier contenders in the Holy Bull a little bit later on Saturday's card. Frosted Grace turns back in distance. Not sure I love the inside post in a field full of speed, but this horse has some ability.
Yeah, he ran well last time. It's interesting to go back and watch that race because, as you mentioned, Federal Case was a big favorite. This horse almost looked like he had that horse put away at the top of the stretch. He opened up about a length and a half on him, and then he just couldn't get away and wound up getting run down late. But it was a big improvement for him. I guess the turn back to 7 could work for him. I don't love the rail, but it is one of those races where it just feels like something has to give up on the pace in this race. Everybody in this field, for the most part, has the same running style. They all want to be right up close. Something's got to give in this race.
This horse turns back in distance. The number 9, Zenden, stretches out after going 2 for 2 at 6 furlongs, including a win in the Buffalo Man Stakes to conclude his 2-year-old campaign. I don't know. I thought that was kind of a slow race, 83 Beyer speed figure notwithstanding. He was drifting and wandering in the lane. If he's going to win this race, he's going to have to do it from off the pace. The good news is he has done that successfully in the past. I need him to prove it to me at 7.
I kind of agree with that. I mean, his debut, he did it from off the pace. He was sort of getting bumped early in that race, so he had to take back. And then he just came 3 wide on the turn and took the race over against Maidens last time. I kind of agree with you. I know the figure improved. It was really just him and Jackson in there. They just raced each other the entire way. This horse turned out to be better at the end of the day, but I just feel like this is a much tougher race.
Jackson will try him one more time, this time breaking from post position 2. They tried to use his speed last time out in the Buffalo Man, and Zenden was just a little bit better. I wonder, considering all the pace in this race, if Johnny V just tries to take him back a la that race 2 back at Gulfstream West. It only earned a 67 Beyer, but he did finish strong.
Yeah, it was nice to see him win from off the pace because there's not many horses in here who can say that they've done that before. So maybe that'll work for him in here. He's going to be a fair price in this race, so you have that going for you. Picking up Johnny V doesn't hurt. We'll see what happens.
We mentioned the pace in this race. We expect it to be strong. Timeform US agrees. They have that red bar out there indicating that a fast pace is likely. And they do have Zenden out on the early lead. I'm surprised that the 3 Topper T is out there, and the 8 Seismic Jolt, though, should be close. Let's talk a little bit about Topper T, an Iowa bred. Did some good things as a 2-year-old. Privately purchased, sent on over to Bilmont. They tried the big boys in 2 two-turn races. A little too long, B a little bit too tough. He gets class and distance relief here.
Yeah, and he caught a sloppy track last time too. He didn't have to love that. He did go a fast pace in that race last time, and then totally gave it up in the stretch. We'll see what happens. I like the turn back for him, and I think he can do better in this race. Obviously, Mott's on a pretty good run right now. I don't know, Dan. I don't love his races at Prairie Meadows and Canterbury. I know that he won a couple of them. He ran fine trying to close in that Canterbury race in September, but I don't know. I don't love any of those races for this horse.
High Crime, the number 4, exploded in his first start on dirt for trainer Darren Miller, popping a 90 Beyer speed figure in gate-to-wire fashion. And he was basically ridden out confidently by Luis Saez the length of the stretch. Now, the pace wasn't very fast, and Timeform US indicates that this time around it's going to be faster. He's going to have to do it a different way coming from off the pace, but that last race was very visually impressive.
I liked that race last time. That was his first dirt start too. You know what? The other thing about him is I know he only ran a 55 in his debut. He ran well in that race. He did not break that well from the gate. He was very green in that race, but he actually put in a run into that spot before he got tired, and then he really took a step forward last time. I think he's a dangerous horse.
Ralph Nix, Jose Ortiz, top connections to be sure. They've got the outside runner, the number 11. That's Country Singer, coming off 2 blowout wins, although like the number 4 in here, High Crime, kind of got away with a nice easy pace last time out, going 6 furlongs. I think if they're real aggressive, maybe he's the speed of the speed.
It'll be interesting to see what Jose does, because you know that he likes to be aggressive when he's got speed on a horse, especially when he's outside. He'll just come out of there running and try and make the front. We'll see if that happens for this horse. As you mentioned, though, his last 2 races, easy wins, visually impressive. but boy, did he get loose in those races.
Call Paul's the number 5. This horse won the prestigious Saratoga Special as a second-time starting 2-year-old, and then they tried the Champagne, they tried the Nashua. Those are really nice horses, Complexity and Code of Honor and Vacoma, and I think the mile's a little far for him as well. I thought he ran pretty well in the Nashua, all things considering, battling with a couple of other horses before finishing a well-beaten third behind 2 nice ones. They dropped him into a nice spot last time out, and listen, he was pressing the pace 5 wide. It wouldn't have mattered if he was 8 wide. He was just better than those horses. He won by 5, and I don't think he's a need-the-lead type. I think that Irad can put him wherever he needs to be. Very consistent from a speed figure standpoint.
Yeah, there's really nothing to knock about this horse. He's taken on some better competition than most of these horses. He's held his own against them. Yeah, he got the class drop last time, but as you say, he just couldn't have won that race any easier at a short price. He's a huge contender in here, Dan. He's not the kind of horse that I'm looking to leave out. I just don't know how short a price I would take on him in the win pool. I know that he can win. I just don't know that I want to bet on him.
2-month layoff really not a concern when you've got a Jason Service handling the decision-making process. Formulator Fact Call Paul, last out winners, 2 to 4 month layoff with 3-year-olds on dirt, 38% winners, a $3.80 return on investment. The number 6 is Take Command, going out for a very underrated trainer. Terry Pompey is good. Terry Pompey is having a very nice meet at Gulfstream Park. Terry Pompey has a very strong formulator fact for the likes of the number 6 Take Command over the past 3 years. Last out winning 3-year-olds on dirt, 5 for 8, 7 of 8 on the board, positive return on investment. This Take Command has a little bit of speed. Now, obviously, he's got to run faster.
Yeah, he's got to run faster in this race. We'll see what he does, because that last race, he was up there, taking pressure on the lead all through the turn there. He put those horses away. I felt like he was getting tired at the end of that race, and he held on. But that was off of a layoff. I mean, he had every right to be getting a little tired in there. Now he's second back. He has got a good formulator stat in his corner. The trip feels like it's going to be a lot more difficult for him in here, as is the competition. His races overall are pretty good.
Kind of amazing that the 7 Shinamatos already run 16 times. I mean, it's February the 2nd, and he's a 3-year-old. He's tried these graded stakes horses in the past. It just hasn't been good enough. The lone win has come against state-bred maiden claimers. He's very hard to recommend.
He's hard to like in this race. This trainer's going to run 2 long shots in here, and it's really hard to make a case for either one of them.
The other one, Hard Bell, at least I guess could be part of the pace picture. He has more speed than the other one, but considering all the other speed in this race, he's a brief factor at best if you just go by the cold dope.
Yeah, I mean, even if he was going to get some kind of soft trip in this race, you could maybe look at him at a price, but he's not going to get a soft trip, it doesn't feel like. In regards to the pace, you probably want the other one.
Let's talk about your top pick in here, Mike, in the grade 3 swale. That's the number 8, Seismic Jolt, and boy, he's been good since they switched him to dirt over this racetrack. I mean, he blew them away 2 starts back, and I liked a little bit of versatility. Last time out in the Limehouse, Tyler Gaffalione had him outside. He cruised to the lead when he was ready, and he put that field away. Now again, he's going to have to handle likely a faster pace than he's used to, but the number 8 Seismic Jolt is slowly improving from a buyer speed figure standpoint, and they spent $800,000 on him for a reason.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, considering his pedigree, you feel like $800,000 is a lot, but I guess they liked what they saw from him, and now that you've seen him run 4 times, you sort of can understand it, because I actually feel like he run well in all 4 of his starts. Even his turf races are good, but his last 2 dirt races have been a big improvement, and you're right, I just like the way he cruised 4 wide in that race last time, and then just crushed that field through the stretch. He looks like a horse who has a lot of ability. I don't know if you're getting 6 to 1, Dan, but I would take that kind of price on this horse.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the grade 3 swale stakes. Mike's going with the number 8 Seismic Jolt. His numbers are 8,
5, 4, 1.
8, 5, 4, 1. I like Call Paul's consistency. Jason Service is just a tremendous trainer, and I think this horse can do it from on the lead or off the pace. I'm not concerned about the 7. Some of these other horses have to stretch out to 7. I'll go 5, 4, 1, 8 in the grade 3 swale, one of 3 graded stakes races at beautiful Gulfstream Park on Saturday. Be sure to bet them all with your very own DRF Bets account. Deposit 50, bet with 200 at bets.drf.com. Approximate post time for the swale, 4:40 Eastern. Good luck.